Welcome back. In this tutorial, I'll be teaching you the Bootstrap forms, the Bootstrap 5 form. Alright. So, what is Bootstrap 5 form? Bootstrap 5 form is used to make a function for user interaction. Alright. The form element collects and updates data from the user using fields, for example, checkbox, radio buttons, or text field. We can embed and save users' information in the database. Alright. Now we have the form control in Bootstrap. The form control in Bootstrap 5 gives classes to form design. Use these classes to empower browser and device specific rendering. Alright. Bootstrap 5 variant purposes a reasonable kind property on all contributions to exploit current information controls like an email confirmation, number choice, secret key, text, and so on. Alright, what this means is in Bootstrap 5 forms, we can use it to validate our form data, such as the email confirmation. In Bootstrap 5, we can add an attribute to our email input that will help us to validate our email to show or to give a response if a particular email format is correct or not. Right? We can also use it to validate our password. You understand? Like, take for instance, for you visited a site and you're supposed to create an account, and for this password section, an option is laid out there that you input your password, and your password should not be more than so character, should be a capital letter, a small letter, must be between 0 to 9, and so on. Right? We can use Bootstrap 5 forms to make all of this. Alright, and there are two types of Bootstrap 5 form. Right? We have the stacked form and the inline form. Now I'll show you the example of each of the two types of Bootstrap 5 form. Right? Now take a look at this picture on the screen. The Bootstrap 5 form, stack form, is like a form where you have a straight form, right? When you have the text field on a straight line, right? While the inline, okay, you have a Bootstrap 5 stack form generates a full width form with mandatory input field such as the text field, email, password, and submit button. To maintain form margin on a web page, use a form wrapper element with the form control class. Alright, so the next one now we're talking about is the inline form. Okay, inline form is just a straightforward, everything will be in one line. Your email, your username, your username field, the password field, the email field, everything will be on one line, and even the submit button, everything will be on one line. So without wasting much time, let's go into our text editor and I'll demonstrate most of these things to you. Okay, now here I'll create another file, another HTML file, call it form.html. Okay, call it form.html. Call that form.html. So I'll just come to index.html, copy all these basic, control A, then control C, come to my form.html here and control V and control V. Alright, so I'll have to delete all this here. I'll delete the h1 tag and the p tag. Alright, now I have created my container already, which is the div with the class container. Right, so what I will do now, just create my form tag. Okay, create my form tag. Okay, so inside the form tag now, I will have inside the form tag I will also create another div. I'll create another div and I'll call it form group. Give it a class of form group. All right, give it a class of form group. So, and after that, after creating that, let's say I'll now create a label. So I'll make a label. I'll make a label for first name, right? Label for first name. Okay. With an input of a input type text. Okay. A name of f name. Let's make this f name. F name, an ID of f name. All right, if you remember, a placeholder of enter first name. So before we continue, Bootstrap 5 also has a nice feature that if you are filling a form and you mistakenly skipped a particular field and you went straight ahead to press the submit button, it will tell you that you haven't filled this particular field. So the attributes, the Bootstrap 5 has a wonderful attribute that is called required. Now, if I will make this particular field required, I will make it required. So whenever I want to fill it, I will deliberately skip this first field and go to the next one. Then I'll hit the submit button and let's see what it will bring out. Okay. Okay. So create another div. Create another div. Give it a class of form group. Give it a class of form group. Give it a label for L name, just last name. Okay. Input type text. Okay. So we have the name to be L name and ID to be L name as well. So put a placeholder. Put a placeholder of enter last name. So make this one required. Make it required, right? Give this a class of form group. Okay, give it a label for email impute a type of email. We'll give it a name of you can actually give it any name you want. Give it a name of mail, give it an ID of mail, give it an ID of mail, then a placeholder of enter your email. They'll also make this required. Okay. So the next one now, give the class of form group. Give the class of form group. Give the label. Give the label of pwd. So this should be password. Right. Input of password. Input of password. Input type of password. Name pwd. ID pwd. Placeholder. Enter password. Enter password. So make this required also. Okay. Okay, so think after this now, just create our submit button. Okay, let's create a checkbox. Let's create a remember me checkbox. So we have a div called, give this a class of checkbox. Okay, give it a label. Give it a label. Inside this label, let's say we have inputs. You have input type of checkbox, right? Then you have remember me. We have remember me. Have remember me. So after this now, let's say we have have the button. Okay, button, give it a type, submit. Submit, right? Give it a type, submit. So we give it a class of button default, and we put here submit. Okay, so let's see how this looks on the browser. Okay, so this is how it looks without styling. We're not going to style it. So I think, okay, we're not going to style it. Okay, so let's do this spacing. Okay, now this is our form. All right, so that will be all on our form. So before going straight to the next agenda, which is our JavaScript, I will be giving you some free tips on Bootstrap, some other things you can do with Bootstrap, starting from Bootstrap typo, carousel, the Bootstrap carousel, and so many other things. Okay, and that will be for our next tutorial. Okay, so thank you and stay tuned. Bye bye.